Puoi parlare?
Sì, posso parlare.
Sì.
Okay.
Now we're gonna get more spicy with it, and we have some chat.
Not like I need a flex here, by the way, but also just the funny thing about that comment is that actually, like, my Italian is better than Fabiano's, like significantly better. Even though I haven't spoken Italian in like forever, it's still better than Fabiano's.
Castafiore, cannelloni, la Comorra, napoletane, mamma mia, belladonna, parmigiano, tiramisù.
Back to the next bit. What do we have?
What is Caruana's IQ? I have no idea what my IQ is. I don't know. I've never taken a test as far as I know.
You know what's really funny, by the way, about IQ is that I actually did one and I was not serious about it. And I came out with a 102. And what's really funny about this, a lot of people have taken that to be like an actual fact. And I think that kind of speaks to the internet, how like people just take things so out of context and they make things the way they want them to be. Because I actually like legitimately, like I took a test and I was not serious about it at all. And it's a bit of a meme, but like if you go on Google, everyone acts as though it's like suddenly a fact. And it's really, really funny that people act like that.
I have no idea.
I'm sure it's higher, but I don't think it's like 170.
I don't even want to guess. My name is Fabiano Caruana, and this is Google Autocomplete. What is Fabiano?
Probably Rui Lopez, right?
Caruana's favorite chess opening.
It's got to be the Rui Lopez, right?
The Archangel variation of the Rui Lopez, which I made a video course on, and it's always been a favorite since I was a child. What does Fabiano Caruana do with C-squared? That's the podcast that I co-host along with Grandmaster Christian Kirilla. We've been doing it for about 2.5 years, and it's been fun. You know, it's the first time that I like went into not just playing chess, but also talking about chess. So that was pretty cool.
Good.
What is Fabiano Caruana's IQ? I have no idea what my IQ is. I don't know. I've never taken a test, as far as I know. I have no idea.
What would be your guess?
I don't even want to guess or know. Either whatever it is, I have no interest in knowing it. Has Fabiano Caruana ever won a world championship? I have not won a world championship.
Very close. Very close.
But I didn't win it against Magnus in 2018. That was the one time that I played the world championship. What was Fabiano Caruana's career highlight? I think this is similar to the last question.
Springfield Cup 2014, right?
My career highlight was winning the candidates in 2018.
Oh, okay, interesting.
And that qualified me for the World Championship. So that was probably the most, the happiest I was after playing a tournament, and the most difficult tournament, and probably my
I should put closed captions on this too.
How tall is Fabiano Caruana? I think 169 centimeters. I guess that's either 5'6" or 5'7". 169 centimeters.
Fabiano's definitely shorter than me, so I'd say probably 5'6". He's probably 5'6". He's definitely shorter than me. There's no doubt about that.
Did Fabiano Caruana go to college? I didn't go to college. I never went to college. I never went to high school. I went to school until I was 12, and then I stopped. I was done with it after that. Is Fabiano Caruana Italian?
Of course.
I have a lot of Italian heritage. I am an Italian citizen. My mother's Italian. I never grew up in Italy. I never lived in Italy, but I have a lot of family there. So I spent a lot of time as a kid visiting them, spending time with my family, and also my...
Yeah, I mean, he never went to high school, but actually I would say, you guys, that's why the whole thing with chess is very it's very tricky, because the thing with chess, if you want to be very good, generally you have to focus on chess completely. And for every kid who turns into Fabiano, there are probably thousands out there who will fail on the path to trying to become like a really strong chess player. So like, it's a very, very double-edged sword. And it's also why a lot of people at some point, you basically have to make the decision, are you going to try to bet the whole farm on chess, or are you going to go to school? Like if you get to like 14, 15, 16, if you get to like 14, 15, 16, you're like 25, 50 or something, that's not good enough to make a living as a professional player. So it's very, very tricky. I mean, there comes a point for most people when you have to make the choice. You have to make the choice. So Bro's acting like he's not fully Italian. I mean, his family, of course, he's 100% Italian. But he hasn't lived in Italy. So yeah. Anyway, let's keep going.
From my father's side as well, he has a lot of Italian ancestry, and all my grandparents were born in Italy. So from a heritage point of view, I'm very Italian. and also I'm an Italian citizen, but I haven't ever lived there. And although I did represent Italy for many years now, I represent the United States playing chess. I don't know if that answers the question. Definitely understand it. Speaking it, not too confident.
Puoi parlare? Puoi parlare?
Sì, posso parlare.
Sì.
Okay.
Now we're gonna get more spicy with it, and we have some chat.
Not like I need a flex here, by the way, but also just the funny thing about that comment is that actually, like, my Italian is better than Fabiano's, like significantly better. Even though I haven't spoken Italian like forever, it's still better than Fabiano's. Just not like I need to flex, but just 1 point.
Questions for you, so you're just gonna hold them, read them, and answer them.
Okay.
Although actually, I have a really funny story, which was I was in I remember, I think I said the story. What did I say? I'm trying to remember what I said. I was at the candidates tournament in Toronto this past April, and I met the singer Andrea Bocelli there, and I'm trying to remember, I said something very informal. I said like "what's up" or something very informal in Italian, and he was really confused because like I wasn't really formal in saying it properly, which was one funny thing. I don't know why I had to mention that, but anyway, let's keep going.
Oof. Chess is often described as a game of deep strategy. How do you stay focused and avoid burnout after intense training sessions or games? I think like having a break from chess sometimes, because if you're just playing nonstop, which I sometimes tend to do.
Yeah, I think what did I say? I'm trying to remember exactly which phrase I used. So did I say come? I don't remember which one I used exactly. Anyway, let's keep going.
Doubt, and then lose motivation, and then you sit at the board wondering why you're there, and that's usually a bad sign for your chess. So definitely taking a break sometimes.
Yes.
What was the moment you realized you could become one of the top chess players in the world? I think that it was a kind of a process that took a while for me after my teenage years, because there were moments when I was not so confident and when I wasn't sure about my improvement. And then
no, you guys, I just remembered it wasn't come sai. I said come va. I said come va, and he was really confused by that. I said come va, and he was really confused.
The pivotal moment was 2012.
Because that's like a very informal,
really well
like, what's up, how are you
I was in the
type
rankings
comment.
in the Tata Steel tournament in 2012. And then after that, things kind of went well for that year, and that was probably the moment. But I was already between 19 and 20 that year, and I had already like had success, but there's definitely a difference between having success and then having the success to become one of the best players. In your view, what separates the world's best players from the rest? I think a lot is very circumstantial too, and it's like very fine details. So it's not like one specific thing. A lot of it is psychological things, like being able to deal with disappointments and losses,
True,
which come inevitably, and also motivation, which is very individual. But you really need that motivation to stay, just even to play and not to get depressed. Playing chess tournament after tournament, sometimes dealing with a lot of disappointments, sometimes having a lot of successes. Don't get too down on yourself when you're doing badly. That's definitely a big part of it. But there's like a million details. How do you deal with moments of self-doubt or frustration during a tournament? I guess it's kind of tying into the first two questions a bit. But yeah, just like, it's important to remember that it's not the end of the world.
Yes,
no matter
true.
how bad it seems at the time, it's just chess. So
Yeah, I mean, that's also an important point too, which is that when you play chess, the really strong players, they're very, very good. They're very good at having like short-term memory loss. So it's like when you lose a game, what you do is you go back to your room and you can be angry for a few minutes. You try not to go and break the hotel. You try not to go and like ruin and destroy a hotel room, because obviously that's not really how you should act. But you go get angry generally for a little bit, you cool off, and then you just focus on the next game. That's generally the approach that people take. Destroying hotel rooms is another way to go about it.
There's definitely a lot of moments of either frustration or doubt or lack of confidence. That all comes for everyone, no matter who you are. You can be Magnus, you can be just beginning. That's going to crop up for sure. So just remembering that it's not forever, it's just temporary is a good thing. You've had a career that spans so many years. What has been the most significant evolution you've noticed in your own game over time? Well, I think for me, it's probably different for everyone, but as I've gotten more experience and a bit older, I've definitely gotten a bit more intuitive and perhaps also lost a bit of the intensity that I had when I was younger and maybe a bit weaker and lacked the understanding, but compensated a bit more with intensity. So that's a bit of a trade-off, I think, for players who have played for a long time. Chess is about combination of creativity, calculation, and psychology. Which aspect do you find most fascinating or challenging? Well, for me, the most interesting part is creativity.
Interesting.
This calculation is something that...
See, I would never... I see, like, for me, it's completely the opposite. When I hear this question about creativity or calculation or psychology, I love the psychological aspect of chess. Like, I think chess, like, for the top players, there's nothing that really separates us except for what's in here. It's all in the head. It's all psychology, I think. So it's interesting that Fabiano talks about creativity, because for me, psychology, I think, is the single biggest thing that's the difference between how I'm performing now versus how I performed in 2018 and 2019, specifically when my career was ending.
Everyone has the capability to do it, but it's a lot about having sort of the, let's say, the organization of thoughts and the discipline to just sit there and calculate, which is not always fun. And the creative approach is more fun. And psychology is just a huge portion of all chess and sports in general. But that's the most challenging part, because you can control your moves, but you can't always control your emotions, and that's sometimes difficult to get a hold of. If you could change one rule or aspect of competitive chess, what would it be and why? I don't know what I would change. I would definitely change never-ending tie breaks, so we don't have any split world championships
That's
anymore.
A fair one. That's a fair one. That was decent. Not bad. Not bad. That's a pretty decent pretty decent set of questions for Fabiano. Nothing too crazy, but it is interesting to me that, like, he doesn't say psychology, because I think psychology is literally the most important thing in chess.